go back little bit 10 years, the actual transformation of feed industry has started around 2000 when most of the feed was mash feed and couple of players in broiler they started. Transformation started maybe around 2005 and today we have a lot of feed mills in India producing the crumbled and pelleted feed. The process is still going on, and as I visit to the feed millers, I can see that every day we are learning. Since the industry has started transformation in the recent past, we have very limited expertise available in the country, and we also have very limited data. The problems varies with raw material, the problems varies with the season, the problems varies with the area where the feed mill is located. So therefore, here I am going to discuss a couple of challenges and their solutions, practical solutions which we can bring into and maximize the efficiency of the feed mill. Then we all know that bigger the operation, bigger is the efficiency. So the small feed mills, they tend to be less efficient, and there are many factors, other factors which increase the energy consumption that I will discuss. Looking at this table, these are the different steps in the feed milling: reception, milling, that is hammer milling, dosification and mixing, pelleting, cooling of the pellet, and loading. So here the cost of electricity is major cost is for conveyor and elevators. So conveyor and elevators consume the electricity, and to save the cost of electricity, we have to ensure that we have to streamline the production in such a way that these conveyors and conveyors and belts, they should not run empty. The use of asynchronous electric motors of high efficiency can save the around 7 to 14 kilowatt of energy. These motors are little bit costlier, and the return of investment time is also very high, but we can think of. Then the use of variable frequency drive. In short, variable frequency drive adjusts the speed of the instrument according to the flow, and this variable frequency drive, they can save a lot of energy, around 15 to 50%, and the return on investment is also less than 5 years. Achieve is less steam for getting the same temperature because of better dissemination of the heat into the feed, and energy passing through the pellet machine can also be reduced because surfactants tend to reduce the friction, and when the feed passes through die, the process gets smoothened. So here, by use of surfactant, we can reduce the amount of steam required to produce a tonnage of feed, and we can save on the cost of production of the feed. At the same time, since the water traveling inside the feed along with surfactant, it is a bound water, it will be bound inside the feed, and it will not be freely available for the growth of the molds. So it will protect that part also. Here in one study, we have found that this was again conducted in Europe, and this is a feed with surfactant, and this is without surfactant. So what it is found that with the same steam pressure, you can achieve around 2 degrees centigrade higher temperature of the conditioner with the same amount of steam. So basically we can save on the steam. For maximizing the feed efficiency, there are a couple of factors. One is the location and environment of the feed mill, which is very important. Then the staff, how much qualified, skilled manpower we have. Then the schedule of maintenance and how the maintenance is being carried out regularly. cleaning of the equipments, pest control, packing material, raw material and finished feed. These different points are controlled by different people. So basically first 4 points the plant manager is in charge, and there are 2 other important people, one is procurement manager and the other one is nutritionist. So basically these 3 along with the staffs working in different departments and their specifications for purchase of goods as well as to sell, these all affect. So whatever the program we design, most important is rigorous implementation of the program. That is a big challenge. We can put a program on paper, but implementation in feed mill is going to be a big challenge. Then sampling system, because samples give indication of what is going to happen. They can mislead if we do not collect the samples properly. Then the heat treatment is most reliable, and couple of additives. Let us look one by one. And here also, since the cooler was not closed properly, again the recontamination was happening, and even in spite of using the formaldehyde based product, the desired results were not getting. So this is, see, this guy is nicely cleaning this, this part of the instrument, but he is simultaneously contaminating the cooler part. The dust is going inside. So we have to avoid the weakness, the management of people, make a common cause, common interest, how we are doing that, why we are doing that, establish a dynamic quality system which is easy to apply, not very complicated, and the regular maintenance of equipment. So in this way we can avoid the weakness. In nutshell, what I would like to emphasize here is that to maximize the feed mill efficiency under our condition, there are couple of points like saving on the steam, saving on the running of the empty conveyors, that would reduce lot of energy consumption, so cost of production will go down. Then by use of some of the technological intervention like surfactant, we can reduce it. Then nutritional quality of the product, which we can ensure the nutritional quality of the product by keeping a close watch on the raw material coming inside, and microbial quality of the product as I explained to you. So all of these factors, they can improve, and we can employ better management and technology to optimize the efficiency of our products. So I think in this last 30 minutes, I could touch on some of the practical aspects, what our feed millers are regularly facing on day-to-day basis, and we try to highlight the solutions on them. Thank you so much.